Hello everyone, welcome back to another Flutter tutorial. In this video, we will see how to create a background running audio player in Android and iOS with Flutter. So let's start. As usual, I'll be starting with an empty template with an empty container set as home, and the theme is set to light. Let's go to the pubspec.yaml file, and we need to add some packages here for the audio player. So we need 4 packages. The just audio and just audio background are the important ones, which helps in playing the audio in background, and the provider package is for the state management, and the logger is just for logging. And we also have a local mp3 file for playing in the list, and make sure to add it in the assets so it becomes available to the application. So let's start. First, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it screens, and let me create a page for displaying the audio list. I'm going to call it home screen, and it's going to return a scaffold with an bar with title. I'm going to say constant text, which is text is going to be background audio player, and elevation set to 0, and the body is going to be a safe area with child, column, and children. Let's set it to empty for now. We'll be coming back to this. All right. Now let's go to the main.dart file and change the home to our home screen, which we just created. Now let's create a folder called state and create a file for managing the state. I'm going to call it audio underscore state, and this is going to extend a change notifier and create a audio player instance, a variable now. We'll create an instance in a short while, and let's create a playlist which is a concatenating audio source with children. Each child needs to be a clipping audio source with child, which is a audio source.uri, and let me copy and paste a mp3 URL. And additionally, we need to provide the start and end duration. Let me set it to seconds 60, and end duration, let's set it to 90. Okay, so once we have that, we can set the additional items, the tag, which is a media item, and let me set the ID for that. Let's create a new variable for the ID. So next media ID is equal to 0 plus plus, so it can be incremented on every child. And the title, okay, let's save some time here so that we copy and paste some data here. Okay, so that's the title, art URI, that's a thumbnail, and the album. And I'm going to add some more children to it. Let me copy and paste it, and the final one is going to be the one that's reading from the local, which is the sample.mp3, and you can change the thumbnail to whatever you want. So let's write the constructor and initialize the player, which is the audio player, and write another function init. And what init is going to do is it's going to listen to the player. So you can do all the listening here, playback event stream. I'm not actually performing anything here. I'm just showing that you can listen to this and you can do any actions you want. And on error will catch errors if anything happens, and you can log it to the console or show it in the UI for the user. Whatever you want, you can do it from here. Just need a callback from here, or you can listen to the stream in the home stream. So let's log the values. So this is just for the demo purpose. Log at dot e, and let's print the values. Say stream error occurred, and I'm gonna write a try catch for loading the playlist. So if there is any error in loading the playlist, we will log it to the console and call set audio source on the player to set the playlist onto the player. And make sure to dispose the player when the application is terminated or the state is disposed. Now we need to wrap the whole application with our state. So change the root to change notify provider and call create and get the audio state and set the child to our material app. Make sure to call lazy false so that the constructor is immediately called. Okay, now let's go to our home screen and add the thumbnail and the current playing audio title. So let's create the UI for that. So expanded, create a stream builder and get the audio state to get the player so that we can get to know what is the state of the current player and get the information from it. So stream must be here, audio state dot player dot sequence stream, sequence state stream, and we need to construct the UI based on the current state data. So let me get the data, so which is snapshot dot data, and let's set the type of the stream, which is sequence state, so that we can get the properties without any error. And I'm gonna check if the sequence is empty. If it is empty, we are gonna just return an empty UI, which is sizebox.shrink. So if this is null, set it to true and remove the constant, so it's no longer a constant. Now let's create a widget to show the current playing audio info. I'm gonna say music info dot or maybe current music info. Yeah, current music info. And let's rename the file to current music info. And this is going to return a column uh, with a image and a text which will show the cover page and the title of the current playing audio. So expand it with a padding, let's say 12, and the child is going to be a text. So let's set the parameters first, which is a media item. Let me import the media item from the audio background and pass it as the parameter. So that's required right now. So let's set the child of the padding to center, which is an image. Child is an image. We get it from the r.uri of the current media item. And the text, we will show the current album and another text which will show the title. So if it is null, we'll set it to empty and set that style to text theme dot title large, and we will set the title in the next text, which is media item dot title. All right, let's go to the home screen and return the current music info. And for getting the media item, we need to call state dot, here state is a snapshot dot data dot current source dot tag as media item, and let's unwrap it. If you want to check the null conditions, you can do that as well. So it'll be much safer. Okay, now we need to add the list, the playlist. Let me give some spacing and add the control buttons to play, pause, skip to previous and next. So let's create a widget to hold those buttons, and it's going to return a row. Set the main axis size to minimum, and the children is going to be The first one is going to be a previous button, skip to previous button, and we need to get the state from the sequence state. And the stream is, so let me get the audio player here and let me set it as in the constructor. Okay, so player dot sequence stream, just like we did in the home screen. Now we need to return the icon button from here, which is skip to previous. So we need to check if the player has previous, then we'll call the function player dot seek to previous or now, so that will be disabled, and set the icon to skip previous. And similarly, we can copy this widget and create the skip to next button. So skip next and has next, then seek to next. All right. Now let's copy this and create the play or pause button. But for that, we need to get the player state stream. So let's declare a variable final player state is equal to snapshot dot data, and another variable processing state is equal to player state dot processing state, and check if it is playing. So playing is equal to player state dot play. So we know that if it is playing or not. Now we will check the processing state if it is loading, or we're going to check processing state dot buffering. So if it is loading or buffering, we need to show a maybe a progress indicator at that moment. So let's return a container with a size, and let's set the child to a circular progress indicator. So I'm gonna set the width and height of the container to 64 and return a circular progress indicator. So when it is buffering or loading, it will show the progress indicator. Now let's write the code for showing the play button. So if the playing is not equal to true, because it can be done, and we need to return the icon button, and the icon, the on press of the button will say play, so that will be the play button. So when it is not playing, we can show the play button because we have already handled the loading and buffering state. And let's copy that, and I'm going to say if the processing state is not equal to processing state dot completed. So if it is not completed, we can show the pause button. So call pause. So otherwise, if that's not the case, we can show the replay button and call player dot seek. So that will start from the beginning, which is actually the replay. Seek duration to 0, and the index set it to player dot effective indices dot first. So that will replay the audio. The error here is because it's not a function, so let's return a function here. Okay, now let's go ahead and add this widget in our home screen just below the cover page, album, and the title. So that will show the play, pause, skip, and previous, and also the replay button. Now let's add the list view for showing the playlist. Let's get it from the sequence state. Player dot sequence has the playlist. So let's listen to the sequence stream and get the stream, and the builder. You're going to check if the snapshot has data. If it has data, you're going to get the data. You can rename it to state or data or whatever you want. And once we have the data, we can get the list from it. I'm going to call it sequence is equal to state.sequence. So if it is null, we'll set it on empty list, and let's create the list view. The item builder is going to return the UI for each row, which is the list tile. It's going to have a title, so a text. I'm going to get the title, sequence of index, dot. The tag has the media item, so tag dot title as string, and on top of each row in the list, we're going to call audio state dot player dot seek and set the duration to 0, so that will play from the beginning and give it the index. The item count is going to be sequence dot length. So we know we already set if it is null, we are setting it to empty, so it's safe. And otherwise, if it doesn't have data, we're going to show a circular progress indicator. All right. So if you want to check more state, you can do that as well in the Streamlabs. Now we have some error we're going to check. I think it's because of some URL. So let's go ahead and fix it. So there is error. I had some extra codes. So now we have the UI loading. We have the cover page, the album, the title, with the buttons, and also the playlist. So when I click it, it's actually playing. I have not recorded the audio. Now we need to do one more thing in the native side of iOS and Android to make it playing in the background, even if you background the app. So let's open the iOS project, and we need to open the signing and capabilities and go to the background modes and check the audio airplay and picture in picture mode. So that's needed for playing the audio in the background. So once you have set it, you need to rebuild the app. So I had already set it up. So this instance is running with the background mode. So if I go to the notification area, you can see that it's playing already, and the app is in the background. So that's all the setup needed for iOS. Now for Android, you need to add this code snippet in the main method before the run app, and set the channel notification ID to something unique, and you can give it a name and set the Android notification ongoing to true. And few more things, we need to go to the Android native site. So open the Android project from your Flutter project, and this is the manifest, the Android manifest file. So let's wait for it to build. So now it is built, and I'll show you what all things to add. So the first one, we need to add a service and a receiver. So before that, we need to add so you will have the internet permission and wake load and also the foreground service, and make sure to add the service and the receiver at the bottom, and also make sure uh, the name is correct. Okay, it should be exactly matching as per the documentation from the plugin, the just audio plugin. So make sure you have the latest plugin and also the latest Android name there, so otherwise it won't work. So that's all you need for Android. So let me close the iOS simulator and open an Android device. So I'm running it in the Android device directly. So you can run it from Flutter, obviously. And so that's how it's exactly similar to iOS. And if you click that, and the audio is actually playing. Sorry, I have not recorded the audio. And you can see that the notification is already playing, and you can pause the audio as well. So yeah, so that's all we need for Android. So it's all pretty easy. The last one is from the local storage, which is the sample.mp3 that we added before. So that's all we need for playing background audio in iOS and Android applications. So hope you learned something from this video. So if you do, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And I'll be providing the link to the source code in the description. Make sure to So if you go to Git repository, make sure to switch to the proper branch, which is the background audio branch. And if you have any issues, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. So that's all for this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.